and welcome to Friday Reads. I've had a bit of a crappy week this week. I pretty much spent all of yesterday asleep, barring a couple of hours in the morning. I don't feel too grand today, to be fair, but for now, I'm here. I'm going to tell you what I've been reading this week. I've only managed to complete... how many? Brain fart. I only managed to complete 3 books. They would be Patricia Cornwell, Dust. This book, I don't know what it was. The story seemed a little bit far-fetched for me. Obviously, with the real-world setting, it just seemed a little bit too much. The story seemed a little... what's the word I'm looking for? It seemed a little watered down, if that makes sense. It seemed like it wasn't fully formed. It's like all the basic points were there, but together it just didn't seem to flow very well. It felt like there needed to be an extra layer of oomph to it to like it as well as I have liked all her other books. It felt like there was something missing for me. I mean, I'm going to continue on with the series because I'm 21 books in, but this one just seemed a little meh. The second book I completed this week was Girl of Nightmares by Kendall Blake. This was my weekly buddy read with Christy from What's Christy Reading. Links in the thing. Again, this one was a little bit meh. But then, to be fair, I thought Anna Dressed in Blood wasn't that fantastic. I mean, it was an enjoyable enough read, just like Girl of Nightmares, but when Christy and I were talking about it on Wednesday, we both hadn't actually finished it yet, but we were just talking about the story and how it's developed and stuff like that, and it felt underdeveloped. The characters that we saw in the first book and have grew to love and enjoy were still there, and they were still enjoyable characters, but the main character cast just seemed a little bit off. I mean, I can't tell you much about the story because obviously it's the second book, but his thought process throughout the thing was just like, yeah, okay, dude, you're going a little bit too far there. I mean, it all turns out well by the end of the book because that's just what happens in books. We all likes a happy ending. But even the ending felt a little bit cut off. You were just like reading away, you're like, yep. I'm there turning pages. I read it on my Kindle. You're there, you're reading it, and then it just stops on such a lame, like, one-liner. It was like, really? Okay. It was still enjoyable to read though, because, like I said, the characters that you fell in love with in the first book are still there. It has an addition of a few new characters, which you love to hate. But yeah, I think that's all I can say about Girl of Nightmares. Then the final book that I finished this week was Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. I finished this morning, and I immediately watched the movie because all throughout the entire book I was just going, I want to watch the movie. I love the movie. There's a lot of differences between the book and the movie, both of which make complete sense in their own. I mean, with the book, it makes sense the way that the story's going. In the movie, it makes sense. You don't miss anything, even though things have been taken out and moved around and things. You don't really lose any part of it for the movie. Because I saw the movie first, I expected this to flow a little bit faster. Unfortunately, that was not the case. I mean, it's not a little book by any means, but it's not a huge book. It's 543 pages, so it's not massive. But there were just parts of the book where I'm like, yeah, I know this, because I'd seen the movie, where I'm like, come on! It got marking down on that for me. I think if I'd have read this before I saw the movie, I would have had different feelings on it, just for the pacing. So that's why it got 3.75, I think I marked it on. And Dustfinger is a lot more likeable in the movie. And I think that's pretty much solely because Paul Bettany rocks. But I digress. I did enjoy it. I am gonna continue on with the series, and hopefully I'll feel better about this, because obviously they didn't make any other movies after Inkheart. I'm excited to carry on with the series. Now onto what I'm currently reading. My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brodie Ashton and Jodie Meadows. I'm only a couple of pages in. I've not even actually marked it on the bookmark with a bookmark. So far it is quite funny, and obviously the story of Lady Jane Grey, it's not really that funny, but I am quite enjoying this. This is our Ready Set Read book for the month of October. We will be holding our live show on Sunday the 30th of October. All information in the down bar and obviously on our Goodreads page. If you don't know, the Ready Set Read book club is a monthly book club hosted by Christy from What's Christy Reading, Brandy from I Ramble Randomly, and myself. We do a live show every month. Previous live shows are on my channel. Go, watch, laugh. If you do want to join in this month, pick this up, have fun reading it, and hopefully talk to you when we do the live show. I'm also currently reading Blankets by Craig Thompson. I'm only a little bit of the way through. Where are you? There you are. Just because I said I've not really been feeling well. What part I did read went by so fast, so I'm sure if I actually just sit down with a cup of tea and decide that I'm reading this, I will have no trouble reading it in like a day. I can't really give you my thoughts on it because, like I said, I'm not that far into it just yet. The artwork is beautiful and it is setting up to be, for how I feel, kind of a bit dark of a story. But hopefully everything turns out good in the end. The only way I'm gonna know that is by finishing it. This is definitely gonna get finished. My partner Chris and myself are also currently reading the illustrated edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I'm going to be currently reading this for a while, so I'm just going to mention it here and then leave it until I finished it, because we're reading it aloud to each other on a night, like a couple of chapters here and there, like we did when we read The Cursed Child. We bought the books, kind of just flicked through them and looked at the pretty pictures. We didn't actually sit and read it, so we just decided to go, hey, do you know what, let's actually sit down, read these books, look at all the pictures and just fully enjoy the beautifulness that is the illustrated edition of the Harry Potters. So that's what we're doing. You don't need me to tell you all the wonderful points of Harry Potter and how amazing it is, so I'm just gonna move on. Here's the part where I tell you what I would like to continue reading for the following week. Christy and myself pretty much choose a book a week to buddy read together, but because it's getting close to the end of the month and we haven't really picked up My Lady Jane yet, we decided to hold off on really choosing one and focusing on it. But when we have finished My Lady Jane, we will be reading Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And I am annoyed with Amazon because my copy is not here yet. But hopefully it will get here soon, even though I pre-ordered it. This is the first time I'm having any issues with Amazon, and I don't like it. Anyway, like I said, after I read Inkheart, I definitely want to pick up Inkspell this week, because I want to know what happens within the entire trilogy, and it's pretty. Look. So, yay! I'll go ahead and choose a Unread Bookshelf Challenge book. So here we are. I want this one. Nope. That one. Okay. So what do we have? Come on. Seraphina by Rachel Martin. I don't know why that's still in there because I've already read that. Okay. Fudge. Next! Okay. a good job I chose that one. There's one less in here. Okay, this one. Ugh. Doo-doo. Seriously? Port Mortuary. I've read this one. You can definitely tell that I have not been paying close attention to this. Right, okay. Third time's a charm. This time, it's on. This time, I will not have read the book already. Okay. I'm just gonna keep this here. Just in case. Right. Finally! The Accident Season by Moira Fowley-Doyle. Yeah, Moira Fowley-Doyle. I think I have that within easy reach. Then again, I could be lying. I just had to climb up to the top of my shelves. I'm short, people. But the Accident Season. Yay! I picked this up because it sounded ridiculously interesting, but I've heard other people's reviews that it's kind of a hit or miss. But we'll see what I think. Hopefully, by next Friday. So that is all I have for you this week. Feel free to leave any comments, tell me what you've been reading this week, what you're planning on reading next week. What do you think of what I've chosen to read? Or just drop by and say hi. I like talking to you guys. Unfortunately, no t-shirt of the week because, like I said, I feel really crap and I just picked up the first shirt that came to my hand, which was this lovely one. I do have more geeky shirts, I couldn't be arsed rummaging. You know what it's like when you don't feel well. You're just like, yeah, that'll do. I mean, I'm currently wearing pajama bottoms. Probably a bit TMI for you guys, but never mind. If you like this video, don't forget to give it that all important thumb. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Oh. Have fun editing. Me? Week was Anna dressed in... No, it wasn't. That was the first one. Ooh. Harry Potter and the Philosopher. Look there.